Hello, welcome back to my channel, and I'm your host, Charcy Lux. And normally this would be a Luxy Charms video, and I would normally even say cosplayer Charcy Lux, but I am flipping things all kinds of differently and putting things upside down here on my channel. So yes, today I am doing another movie review, but I am doing it kind of as a voiceover over some of my artwork again. So I really enjoy doing that since I'm doing a new series that I'm going to be talking about, the Masters of Horror series that was created by McFadden. And I started with episode 1. Well, I'm also going to be doing my next part. I should say here is another series that I'm also going to be bouncing back and forth from, so that I'm not only doing the Masters of Horror series. So I'm also going to be going through and talking about all the different Critters films, and I'm going to be ranking them at the very end of my series. So this should be a 4 or 5 part series, most likely a 5-part series, because I'm going to individually go over each different film. So today's episode, I'm going to be talking about Critters. So the first one, which was created in 1986. I'm going to talk about each individual film, and then on the very last episode, I'm going to be ranking the franchise and explaining why. And of course, through each one, I'll obviously be giving recommendations and that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into it, and as always, spoiler alerts, and viewer discretion is advised. And like I said before, this one for Critters was originally made in 1986. Now, every single one of the Critter films are back-to-back pretty much, because you had the original in 1986, you had the second one that came along in 1988, and then the third one in 1991, followed by the fourth right away in 1992. So literally back-to-back. And we've seen several other film franchises that have spanned over years, if not decades, and this one was kind of very short-lived if we want to really think about it when it comes to most of the franchises out there in horror. And as I've been doing with my other movie reviews, except for the last episode that I did give the cast and the crew, but I'm not going to give the cast and the crew on this one. If you are interested in knowing the cast and the crew, I am going to have a link in the description down below. I will also put the cast and crew down in the description, so please check that out. So, for the story of Critters, it focuses around, you have your antagonists, who are the alien creatures known as the Krites, and you would think that these fuzzy, adorable-looking creatures would be cute and cuddly, but oh no, they are quite the opposite. They have a gigantic mouth full of razor-sharp teeth, and they are horrendous eating machines. So they are killers that will literally eat everything in sight, and they will eat you alive. Now, they are alien creatures, and unbeknownst to mankind on Earth, they don't know that there is an entire extraterrestrial kind of alien life going on for the rest of the world, that they even have a prison system. So these Krites that are very dangerous creatures were captured, and they're on this prison transport vessel going across the galaxy. Well, of course, the Krites manage to escape. So they escape from this spaceship, and they happen to be in the same universe where Earth is. So they're going to go to the only living planet in the area, so they go and head to Earth. But the alien prison system has bounty hunters that they have at their disposal. So they send 2 shapeshifter bounty hunters to go and retrieve the Krites. And they explain that because Earth doesn't know about the rest of the galaxy, that these shapeshifters need to blend in with the rest of mankind. So the bounty hunters go in search of the Krites on Earth. Well, then you're introduced to your protagonist, which is the Brown family. And the Browns happen to live in the middle of nowhere. They live on a farm in midwestern Kansas. And it happens to be in the same town and area where the Krites land. Well, as soon as the Krites show up, they start wreaking havoc. They start killing off people, or I should say, eating people alive. Well, yeah, it's still killing people off, but... So the Browns, who are in the area of this town, start being invaded by these Krites and trying to fight back. But, of course, the town is being invaded as well. But when the Browns start fighting back against these evil little alien creatures, the only ones that are available to actually come help them is the town drunk, Charlie, who happens to be a family friend, and Charlie happens to befriend the bounty hunters. So Charlie, the bounty hunters, and the Brown family manage to fight up against the Krites. And I should say that even Harv, the town sheriff, manages to join up with the rest of the gang as well to have this final battle against the Krites and everything. So, you know, you have that hooray at the end where everybody wins, they killed the Krites, and you had the bounty hunters that they even end up taking Charlie with them and he becomes a bounty hunter with them. But you have your typical type of idea with a horror film where they kind of give a sneak peek hint at the fact that the Krites had left eggs in the Browns' barn. So it left the door open for the rest of the films that come in the franchise. So you will find out in the second film of the franchise what happens with the eggs of the Krites. I don't know too many people that haven't seen this one, and if you have not seen this film, you definitely need to check it out. If you are in the USA area, Tubi has it available that you can stream all 4 of the Critter films. I own all of them on DVD, although I do need to update and I do need to get them all on Blu-ray because, oh my god, I love the Critter films. So, I mean, obviously, you're already going to get a little bit of a detail of what I think of the films, but I love all 4 of them. But the biggest thing is I'm not describing to you what my rankings are for the films, not quite yet. So I may just lump it together after I talk about the 4th film of the franchise, but the most well-known of the 4 is, of course, the original one, the first one, but the second one is just as popular as the first one, the original one, and the first film is incredibly fun, and it's your atypical alien creature feature horror film that has mixed elements of it also being a slasher film, except your slashers are these Krites, and like I said, they are eating machines, and they will eat you alive. But my biggest thing, especially when it comes to horror, is I love comedy horror. And this one takes on the humor tone just as much as it does with a seriousness to it. It's kind of hard to describe unless you've actually seen it to understand that, oh yes, horror films, they could still be scary and freaky but still be funny at the same time. As a child, Critters scared the crap out of me and gave me nightmares, and now Critters is a comfort film for me. It's one of my favorite films to play in the background. There, you have it. A quick summary. I wanted to talk about the Critters films because of how much I love and enjoy them, and that I'm working my way up to do the rankings of this franchise. But I was also really wanting to talk about this one because I was excited that Tubi had added all 4 films onto its streaming service. So I apologize if you're not in the USA and you don't have a possibility of streaming it. I know every place is different, like Canada, UK, Australia, no matter where you're at, like every streaming service is different. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me here on another episode, and please let me know, have you seen Critters? What do you think about it? And I am so excited to talk about all of these films. If you are interested in any of my other social media platforms, I will have a link in the description down below. And please come join my Patreon. Your support greatly helps me. And I also have an Etsy shop where all of my artwork is available for sale. So you can even see the art piece that I'm working on right now that will be available. And remember, I am the afterlife of the party, but I would love for you to come and join me in the afterlife of the party. And always remember to slay, subscribe, like, and always be yourself. And on the screen, you can also see a shout out to my Patreon members and a huge thank you to each and every one of you. Your support greatly helps me to continue creating content like this. And a special shout out to my ultimate Patreon. So thank you so much, Kurt. Please enjoy the rest of your day and have a Luxy Charms kind of day. Bye.